There's a quiet power in asking questions, not the kind that fill conversations, but the kind that carve through illusion. Questions that reveal, test, and shape the soul. In every era, people have been certain of things that later turned out to be false. We inherit beliefs from culture, repeat phrases that sound wise, and defend ideas we've never truly examined. And yet, we still wonder why peace feels so far away. The truth is simple. The unexamined life is noisy. It's cluttered with assumptions and untested opinions. The examined life, the one rooted in awareness and clarity, is silent, focused, and unshakable. That silence is what Stoicism aims to build. It's not just about enduring hardship or appearing calm. It's about seeing clearly. Because when you see clearly, life's chaos loses its power over you. To see clearly, you must first learn to question, like Socrates. But to live clearly, you must learn to embody those questions, like the Stoics. And when you combine both, questioning and embodiment, you create a mind that no distraction, no insult, no misfortune can move. This is the art of self-mastery through reasoning, the union of Socratic inquiry and Stoic discipline. Today, we explore 3 Socratic questions that every Stoic mind must learn to ask, not once, but daily, to build clarity, wisdom, and peace in a chaotic world. Question 1. What do I mean by this? Every illusion begins with an undefined word. We say things like, I want peace, I seek success, or I value freedom. But when you look closer, what do those words actually mean? Peace, is it quiet? Is it the absence of conflict? Is it acceptance of what is? Success, is it achievement, recognition, or fulfillment? Freedom, is it doing what you want or mastering what you don't want to do? Most minds stumble not because their goals are wrong, but because their definitions are vague. They chase smoke and call it purpose. The first Socratic question is simple. What do I mean by this? A Stoic knows that clarity begins where vagueness ends. If you cannot define what you seek, you'll never recognize it when it appears. Imagine a man who says he wants respect. He works harder, speaks louder, wins arguments, and still feels unseen. Not because respect is missing, but because his definition was never clear. He was chasing validation, not respect. When you pause and define your terms, the fog begins to lift. What do I mean by happiness? What do I mean by strength? What do I mean by love or success or peace? The Stoic asks these questions not to sound clever, but to see clearly, to remove the noise between words and meaning. The discipline of definition is the first doorway to wisdom. It forces your mind to slow down. It stops you from reacting based on impressions. It separates truth from confusion, because language isn't just communication. It's the architecture of your thoughts. If your words are imprecise, your thoughts are blurry, and blurry thoughts create blurry lives. A Stoic's strength comes from precision. When he says virtue, he knows what that means, not in theory but in action. When she says peace, she's not referring to a mood but a way of being unshaken. So ask yourself daily, what do I mean by this? Each time you define, you reclaim a piece of your mind from chaos. Clarity is the first act of rebellion. Question 2. What evidence do I have that this is true? Our emotions often feel like facts. Someone ignores you, and instantly, the story appears, they don't respect me. A challenge arises, this is unfair. A setback comes, I'm failing. But a Stoic pauses and asks, what evidence do I have that this is true? This question cuts through illusion like a blade. We suffer most when we treat our assumptions as evidence. The Stoic doesn't suppress emotion, he inspects it. Because most emotions are built not on truth, but on interpretations. You can't control the world, but you can control your interpretation of it. That control begins the moment you ask for proof. What if the person who ignored you was just distracted? What if the challenge isn't unfair, but necessary for growth? What if the setback isn't failure, but redirection? By asking for evidence, you replace reaction with reflection. This is the Stoic's armor, the discipline of perception. It transforms the noise of emotion into the music of understanding. Most people live as prisoners of untested beliefs. They never question their stories, about others, about the world, about themselves. But a Stoic knows that peace demands investigation. Whenever the mind declares something, test it. Ask them, what facts support this? What else could be true? What would change my mind? This is not skepticism for its own sake. It's humility, a recognition that the mind is fallible and that certainty without evidence is arrogance in disguise. Truth doesn't fear questioning. Illusion does. When you practice this, your emotions become guides instead of dictators. Anger signals injustice. You investigate. Fear signals uncertainty. You examine. Sadness signals attachment. You reflect. By testing your thoughts, you purify them. By demanding evidence, you free yourself from fiction. The Stoic uses reason not to suppress emotion, but to illuminate it, to separate what's real from what's imagined. Every day, ask yourself, what am I believing right now? And what evidence supports that belief? Peace is not the absence of emotion, it's the presence of truth. Question 3. What happens if everyone lived by this idea? The final Socratic question is the test of universality, the discipline of consequence. Every principle sounds noble when it serves our interests. But the Stoic mind asks, if everyone lived by this idea, what would happen? This question reveals integrity. It exposes hypocrisy and shallow conviction. We often hold standards for others that we don't apply to ourselves. We say they shouldn't lie while excusing our own dishonesty. We demand patience but offer none. We want freedom, yet act without responsibility. The Stoic refuses to live by double standards. His philosophy isn't a costume for convenience. It's a compass for all conditions. When you test your principles universally, you see whether they're rooted in truth or comfort. If your rule cannot apply to all, it's not a rule. It's preference pretending to be virtue. Ask yourself, if everyone acted as I am acting, would the world improve or decay? If everyone spoke as I speak, would conversations bring clarity or conflict? If everyone thought as I think, would we be more united or more divided? This question humbles the ego. It transforms ethics into action. You begin to see that wisdom is not measured by how you treat those who agree with you, but how you treat those who don't. By holding yourself to universal standards, you stop chasing moral convenience and start cultivating moral coherence. The Stoic doesn't ask, what feels good? He asks, what's right, even when no one sees? He doesn't ask, does this benefit me? He asks, would this behavior make sense if everyone did it? That's how integrity is built. Quietly, consistently, invisibly, the discipline of consequence transforms philosophy into practice. It reminds you that wisdom isn't found in thought alone, it's proven in behavior. Now you understand the 3 Socratic questions. What do I mean by this? What evidence do I have that this is true? What happens if everyone lived by this idea? But Stoicism teaches that knowing is never enough. Wisdom only exists when you live it. So how do you turn these questions into a way of being? Start with awareness. Throughout the day, notice when your mind makes assumptions. Notice when words like always, never, or should appear. Each of those moments is an invitation to question. Pause. Ask the first question. Define your meaning, then look for evidence. Finally, test the universality. It takes seconds, but it changes everything. You begin to catch yourself before reacting. You think before speaking. You understand before judging. And slowly, the world becomes quieter. Not because it's less chaotic, but because your mind has become more orderly. This is the Stoic transformation. Not the suppression of emotion, but the purification of perception. The power to question is the power to choose, and choice is the foundation of freedom. Every time you apply these questions, you reinforce 3 Stoic disciplines. The discipline of perception, seeing things as they are, not as you wish them to be. The discipline of action, behaving in harmony with reason, not impulse. The discipline of will, accepting what you cannot control with grace. Each question strengthens one of these disciplines. Together, they form an unshakable mind. At the heart of both Stoicism and Socratic inquiry lies one shared truth. Wisdom begins with humility. To question your thoughts is to admit you might be wrong. To define your words is to admit you didn't always understand them. To test your beliefs is to risk discovering they were false. That's why most people avoid questioning, not because they can't think, but because they're afraid of what clear thinking might reveal. But a Stoic doesn't fear that revelation. He welcomes it, because clarity, even when uncomfortable, is freedom. Every false belief you release is a chain you didn't know you were wearing. Every illusion you expose is one less shadow in the mind. You can't control the world. You can't control others. But you can control the quality of your reasoning. And when your reasoning is clean, your life becomes lighter. The examined life is not a life of endless analysis. It's a life of awareness, of deliberate thought, calm response, and moral coherence. Ask, test, reflect. That is the Stoic's meditation, and in time, as the noise of unexamined thinking fades, you'll notice something profound, a calmness that doesn't depend on circumstances, a confidence that doesn't require validation, a peace that isn't borrowed from others, but built from within. That's the reward of the examined mind. Freedom through reason, stillness through understanding. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, distracted or lost, don't look for answers in noise. Look for questions in silence. Ask yourself, what do I mean by this? What evidence do I have that this is true? What happens if everyone lived by this idea? Then pause and listen. In that silence, you'll find something far greater than answers. You'll find yourself.